if I can pay with a credit card, even if it's something like typically you wouldn't think you could pay with a credit card, if I could pay it, I'm putting it on that credit card, invoices, etc. I put it on my travel cards because I know it leads to more points. And since I know Bank of America has a relationship with American Airlines and Chase has a relationship with United and Southwest. See, I'm on it, right? I know all the credit cards and like who their travel partners are. So because I study this, I like Marriott, I like Hilton, like there are certain brands that I'm like really, really big on. And so I made sure to get cards that match my preferred travel partners. Hey, Courtney Sanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time online life and business coach as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and do all the things. And one hat that I've been wearing lately is travel agent, sort of. Not literally, we actually have a travel agent, but I've been doing so much planning for this retreat that I am hosting in South Africa. Woo! By the time you're watching this video, I'll probably be in South Africa because I'm recording this ahead of me going, but that gave me the idea. One thing that I wanted to talk to you about today, which I know you'll be excited about because I get questions about this all the time, is how I rack up travel points on my business credit card. So I'm flying not just myself, but I'm flying me, my mama, and my husband out to both Johannesburg and Cape Town, and we are all flying there and back on like Emirates business class. My mom is flying on British Airways on one of the routes, but business class all the way through for 3 people. And I booked these flights with points on my travel credit card. So if you're like, wow, I would love to do that. I would love to create a business that allows me to do that, you're in luck because we're gonna get into it right now. All right, the first way that I rack up travel points on my business credit cards is by having an actual business. I know. I just always have to put that disclaimer out there because people are like, oh, what credit card should I get? Understand that you get points based on the amount of money that you spend, but you don't wanna spend money for no reason. And so part of the reason why I love having a business is that really all of your expenses truly are investments. I know, technically they're expenses, but why are they expenses? Like you're only spending money in your business with the hope of getting a return. So even something as simple as like the expenses that are associated with me recording these videos, right? I know that this is great for my marketing. I know that these videos attract clients on YouTube. So when I pay my videographer or my video editor, I'm using my business credit cards, and that gets me points towards those travel rewards, which I really, really love redeeming. So you want to come up with an actual business model that is going to be profitable. That way you can, spend money that makes sense in order to keep your business operating and to keep it functioning. And then you can be confident that like, hey, I'm spending this money, I'm getting the money back because I'm attracting clients and I'm making sales. And so, the business is doing what it's supposed to do, but I'm putting all of my expenses on these travel cards. And that's what I do. Like if I can pay with a credit card, even if it's something like typically you wouldn't think you could pay with a credit card, if I could pay it, I'm putting it on that credit card, invoices, etc. I put it on my travel cards because I know it leads to more points. So make sure that you have a profitable business. Make sure that you're operating in a profitable niche. I actually have a video right here that you can check out, which is all about how to find out if you're in a profitable niche. But once you're in one and you're following everything else and you're starting to attract clients, it should be no problem. Just make sure you put all your expenses on that business travel credit card. All right, the next thing that you'll want to do in order to rack up travel points on your business credit card is you want to get business credit cards that match the type of expenses that you have. And so I see a lot of people, they don't do this. They look exclusively on what the rewards are for the credit card. So they might be like, oh, I'm gonna get this Bank of America credit card because it gives you 100,000 points, or I'm gonna get this Capital One card or whatever. They're just looking at the points and what kind of rewards, and oh, I can fly here, not realizing that the card actually might not be that beneficial for you long term because it doesn't match the actual type of spending that you do in your particular business. So every business is different. Some businesses are brick and mortar, and so they have a lot of like shipping charges and they're always sending things out. You will want to find a travel business credit card that gives you, a multiple of points on shipping. And so that's another thing to keep in mind. All credit cards might give you maybe 1 point on any dollar that you spend, but you want to maximize by finding cards that give you 2, 3, sometimes 4, and even 5 times the points on the type of spending that you do a lot of spending for. So for me, I'm an online business. I don't have a lot of brick and mortar expenses. So things like shipping and all of that is not as much of an interest to me. But for me, I love cards that give me rewards on marketing expenses, on advertising expenses, Facebook ads, Google ads, different things like that. There's specific cards that will give you 3 times, 4 times, 5 times the amount of money that you spend. And so that's how you're able to rack up a lot of points very quickly. So if there's a particular type of spending that you know you do, maybe it's like online software, find a card that is gonna give you 3, 4, 5, 6 times. I don't know any card that gives 6 times, but usually it's between 3 and 5 times the amount of dollars that you're spending towards points that you can then use for amazing travel. And in addition to finding cards that match the type of expenses that you do, you'll also wanna find cards that match the amount that you spend. So that's another thing. There's certain cards, particularly American Express, that will give you, again, 3, 4, sometimes 5 times the points if you spend over a certain amount. So if you have a type of business and you know you typically have large invoices, maybe people are billing you, $5,000 or more, there are some American Express cards that are really good for that because they give you, 3 times the points or whatever it is for any amount spent over this. So look at the type of spending that you're doing. Are you paying for advertising? Are you paying for shipping? Some cards give you points back if you put your cell phone bill on it. Like, look at the type of spending that you do, but then also look at how much you're spending, because there are certain cards that'll give you a certain amount of points if you spend over a certain type of threshold. All right, I have more where that came from, but first I wanna hear from you. Where would you travel if you had like a gazillion credit card travel points? What's the #1 destination you would use your points on? Share in the comments below. All right, the third thing that you'll want to keep in mind is you'll want to find cards that match your preferred travel partners. This is another thing that people don't think about. What city do you live in? What are the hubs in your city, right? For me, I live in Houston, and so this is a United hub. Previously, I lived in Dallas, and Dallas was an American Airlines hub. I know people who live in Atlanta or Michigan, where I'm from, those are Delta hubs. So you'll want to look at your actual city and say, okay, what are the types of flights that I'm honestly going to be flying on a consistent basis? Am I always flying on Southwest? Am I always flying on United? Or do all of the routes run through, American Airlines in my city? You'll want to find credit cards that match those particular travel partners. For instance, I know Bank of America has a relationship with American Airlines, and Chase has a relationship with United and Southwest. See, I'm on it, right? I know all the credit cards and like who their travel partners are. So because I study this, and I was like, hey, I'm not gonna focus so much on credit cards that deal with American Airlines because I don't live in Dallas anymore, but I need cards that deal with United and Southwest because those are the primary carriers that are out here in Houston. Also think about, where do you like to stay? Are you a Marriott person? Are you a Hilton person? Are you a Hyatt person? That makes a difference as well. Not all cards, have different points arrangements with all types of hotels. So if you love Intercontinental, or you love Kimpton hotels, or you love Marriott or Starwood or whatever, make sure that you are finding different cards that match that. And so if you're agnostic to any of these, then I guess you can just pick any card. But for me, I like Marriott, I like Hilton, like that. There are certain brands that I'm like really, really big on. And so I made sure to get cards that match my preferred travel partners. All right, here's another tip. And this is kind of like, a Jedi trick that I don't see a lot of people doing. But going back to the first example that I gave about how you want to match the type of expenses with the type of card, make sure that the vendors that you are paying, see when they are billing you or they're getting ready to charge your credit card, if they could title their company, usually on the invoice or when they're getting ready to process the charge, there's a space where they can put in the name of their business so it shows up a certain way on your credit card statement. See if they can change that name to something that is in alignment with the type of points that your credit card gives you. For instance, I am working with a Facebook ads team who's helping me, run Facebook ads and do all of this. Now, obviously, when I run Facebook ads, the charges come through as Facebook ads, and I'm getting 3 times points for all the money that I'm spending on advertising. However, the company name is just like XYZ Inc., right? It's not anything that has advertising in it. However, when they bill me, they put the name advertising services. That's how it shows up on my credit card statement. And I love that. And I'm so grateful that they did that, because now I can charge those expenses to the particular card that I have that gives me 3x points on advertising spend, because boom, it's in the name. It says advertising services. And so now I'm getting 3 times that. Keep this in mind. If, for instance, if you have a card that gives you 3 times, points or cash back on travel, if you're working with a travel agent the way I am for this retreat, or you're booking anything, see when they bill bill you, regardless of what the name of their business is, see if they, for instance, could put, travel advisors in the name, or advertising advisors, or if you were getting a card that gives you 3 times points for shipping, shipping whatever. They obviously don't have to change the name of their business, but typically there's some flexibility when they're billing you what actually they're putting in that description so that it shows up on your credit card statement. That goes a long way to help you get additional points. And most vendors, it's not a big deal. It's a very small change. They don't care. It's just something simply that you need to ask them to do. And that's an amazing way to, now you're racking up 3, 4, and 5 times points that you wouldn't have ordinarily done had you not asked them to make that change, so that the expenses that you are paying, the credit card company can clearly see that it fits within the categories that they're giving you 3, 4, and 5 times points for. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're like, ooh, I want to do this, I need to get my business off the ground, or maybe you already have an online coaching business, but you're like, I need to grow it and actually get some clients so I can take advantage of these travel rewards with these business credit cards, I invite you to join my program, the Next Big Name Bootcamp. You can click the link below in order to apply. You'll be directed to have a call with someone on my enrollment team, and they will let you know, if this is a good fit for you and your niche. But if we can help you, we'd love to help you so that you can start making some money, putting some expenses on your business credit cards, and then taking advantage of all of this. And in fact, I'm also going to link in the description my favorite cards, right? The cards that I personally use, the cards, again, that are personally paying for this trip and that have allowed me to book 3 round trip business class tickets on Emirates and British Airways just by simply using my business credit card. So if you want to know what those are and how I'm able to get those points, you can go ahead and check the description box where we will link my favorite travel cards. So I hope this video was helpful for you. If it is, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you want even more where this came from, make sure you're following me on my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, make sure that you are following me on Instagram. It's CourtneyLSanders on Instagram. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.